Hi, and welcome back to another week of Simply Boss Events Level Up Tribe. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and this week we will be discussing booking venues. Another part of establishing a great event is ensuring that you have a great venue. So, when you are looking into booking an event, the first part of this is setting a destination. You need to confirm with your client if there are any specific goals of a location they are looking for, if this is the piece that you are working with them on. Sometimes a client will already have a destination and a venue already booked, so that part you won't have to do. But if you are included in this process, it would make a lot of sense to walk through their top 3 choices of their preferred location. Sometimes clients like to make their venue a location that is convenient for their guests if they have a lot of guests coming from a particular area. And sometimes they just want it in a preferred location that's convenient for them. Either way, it's fine. You just need to help them incorporate travel time to and from the venue, cost of getting to the venue, and that can be on their end or for their guests because it might limit the amount of people who will be able to attend their event. And just make sure that you work out with the hotel of which people are staying in a group rate if that is all possible. I know sometimes clients don't really care to get involved in that piece of it, but even if you could just streamline the process for them, you will definitely make sure that this is a great event for them. When you're looking at booking an event, and not just sleeping rooms, but for a venue in itself, you have to be really aware of the additional costs depending on the time of year. There are a lot of hotels that charge a seasonal occupancy rate as well as the room tax, and sometimes the changes in supply and demand of that particular location will really affect your expenses. If you have a destination event such as Hawaii, you can expect that the venue is going to charge you a lot to host an event there, and hotel rates are going to be extremely high during those peak seasons. And those peak seasons are considered summer and most definitely during December, as a lot of people are trying to get out of cold weather. So let's go to Hawaii and have our event there, not always factoring in the cost that is involved with that. In addition to that, you really want to check the flight schedules and frequency to those destinations. A lot of places may be easy for someone in California to get to, but there may not be a lot of direct flight options to get there. And those flight schedules will look different than someone coming from Utah. So always keep that in the front of the client's mind, because that may help them when determining a location for their event. And one final thought on these destination locations or helping a client decide on a location for their event is to really factor in the weather during that time of year. Someone who, I keep using Hawaii as an example, but someone flying from New York in December, the chances of them having a flight delay is really high because New York has a lot of snow and ice in December. And so while Hawaii is a beautiful location, someone trying to get out of New York is going to have probably some issues getting to that venue. It does not mean that they cannot consider it. It's just a factor in deciding if they are paying for any of the sleeping rooms or day of the week that they want this event to occur, because they will want to communicate the proper information to the attendees. Finding the right hotel is really important. Again, depending on what type of event you are hosting, a airport hotel may be the most convenient location. A convention hall will also be something to look at. In San Francisco, one of the biggest convention halls is Moscone Center, but that is for a huge event recommended for over 10,000 attendees. You could probably go as low as 5,000, but you'll only use half of the Moscone Center, not the entire location. A meeting hotel. Marriott's are great for meeting hotels because they have a lot of meeting space. However, it depends on the type of event that you are hosting. A resort hotels are fabulous because they cater to families, they cater to couples. So if this is a destination wedding, you might want to check those out because it could be all inclusive. Everyone could stay at the hotel. You can host the wedding there, and everyone would be housed in one location. Determining the type and number of guest rooms that are needed is important when booking sleeping rooms. You'll want to discuss that with the hotel. Do you want to offer singles, doubles, suites for some families? Some people will be traveling on business, so you want to make sure some of the rooms are business rooms. And you always want to at least incorporate 1 to 2 ADA rooms. You need to also decide the amount of people that will be attending, which will affect your meeting space or the venue of which you will be hosting the event, and make sure that this venue can incorporate food, drinks, attendees, dancing if that's happening, music, or DJ if you're hosting that as well. And finally, always try to incorporate the comfort of the guest. While you are working for the client and putting together this event for them, you want to constantly remind them of things that may or may not be good for the attendees. And if they are suggesting something that in your experience, you know that doesn't look well or feel good for attendees, bring it up to them because they may not be thinking about that. In that particular moment, they're thinking about their event, so they're trying to make sure that they are able to execute an event within a budget, but doing so may be at the cost of the expense of the attendees. So that is all for this week. I hope that you have found this information helpful. As always, feel free to check us out at www.simplybossevents.com to learn more about the services we provide. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Simply Boss Events. Until the next one, keep planning.